Hey friends, welcome back for another chapter of Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Today we will be reading chapter number 9 called Grandpa Joe Takes a Gamble. Yesterday in chapter 8 we found out the winners of ticket number 3 and ticket number 4. Ticket number 3 was found by a girl named Violet Beauregard. She was a kind of a really fast talking gum chewer who holds the world record for chewing the same piece of gum for the longest amount of time. And the fourth winner was a little boy named Mike TV, who loved watching old gangster movies where guys were shooting at each other with pistols and things like that. And Mike TV, if you remember, he was the boy who had all those little toy pistols, 18 of them, on his body, and he would shoot them off and while he watched his TV shows. Today, let's read chapter 9, Grandpa Joe Takes a Gamble. The next day, when Charlie came home from school and went in to see his grandparents, he found that only Grandpa Joe was awake. The other three were all snoring loudly. "Shh," whispered Grandpa Joe as he beckoned Charlie to come closer. Charlie tiptoed over and stood beside his bed. The old man gave Charlie a sly grin, and then he started rummaging under his pillow with one hand. And when the hand came out again, there was an ancient leather purse clutched in his fingers. Under cover of the bedclothes, the old man opened the purse and tipped it upside down. Out fell a single silver 10-cent piece. "It's my secret hoard," he whispered. "The others don't know I've got it. And now you and I are going to have one more fling at finding that last ticket. How about it, eh? But you'll have to help me." So it sounds like Grandpa Joe had a dime under his pillow that he is going to give to Charlie to buy one more ticket. Now remember, this book took place in 1964. Back then, candy bars only cost 10 cents. I know it's way different. Nowadays, they cost $1 or $2 just for one candy bar. "Are you sure you want to spend your money on that, Grandpa?" Charlie whispered. "Of course I'm sure," spluttered the old man excitedly. "Don't stand there arguing. I'm just as crazy as you are to find that ticket. Here, take the money and run down to the street to the nearest store and buy the first Wonka candy bar you see and bring it straight back to me and we'll open it together." Charlie took the little silver coin and slipped quickly out of the room. In 5 minutes, he was back. "Have you got it?" whispered Grandpa Joe, his eyes shining with excitement. Charlie nodded and held out a bar of candy. Wonka's Nutty Crunch Surprise. Oh, so this is a different kind of candy bar than the first one he had. "Good," the old man whispered, sitting up in bed and rubbing his hands. "Now, come over here and sit close to me, and we'll open it together. Are you ready?" "Yes," Charlie said, "I'm ready." "All right, you tear off the first bit." "No," Charlie said, "you paid for it. You do it all." The old man's fingers were trembling most terribly as they fumbled with the candy bar. "We don't have a hope, really," he whispered, giggling a bit. You know we don't have a hope, don't you?" "Yes," Charlie said, "I know that." They looked at each other and both started giggling nervously. "Mind you," said Grandpa Joe, "there is just that tiny chance that it might be the one. Don't you agree?" "Yes," Charlie said, "of course. Why don't you open it, Grandpa?" "All in good time, my boy, all in good time. Which end do you think I ought to open first?" "That corner, the one furthest from you. Just tear off a tiny bit, but not quite enough to see us, for us to see anything." "Like that?" said the old man. "Yes. Now, a little bit more." "You finish it." said Grandpa Joe. I'm too nervous. No, Grandpa, you must do it yourself. Very well then, here goes. He tore off the wrapper. They both stared at what lay underneath. What do you think? It was a bar of candy. Nothing more. All at once, they both saw the funny side of the whole thing, and they burst into peals of laughter. What's going on? Cried Grandma Josephine, waking up suddenly. Nothing, said Grandpa Joe. You go back to sleep. That's the end of the chapter. So Grandpa Joe took his own money and had Charlie buy one more candy bar to try to find the golden ticket, but they didn't find it. So Charlie has had 2 tries now at finding the golden ticket, and both of them, he didn't win. What do you think? You think he's going to give up, or do you think he's going to keep trying? I don't know. There's only one golden ticket left, and remember, Charlie's family is very poor. They don't have a lot of money to spend on candy bars. Tomorrow when we read, we are going to read chapter 10. The family begins to starve. Oh my goodness. Thanks for listening. We'll see you tomorrow.